Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of Listen in 3D. This is episode number 61. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. Like what you're seeing, give this video a like, comment, share it around, and subscribe. If you want to help us out one step further, when you do subscribe, click that notification bell. That way you know when all our videos and shorts go live. And just a reminder, we are available on all streaming platforms. Wherever you want to listen to us, feel free. We've got a lot of content on the channel, so definitely check us out. So we appreciate the support. Almost at 100 subs. So anyway, so this album we're getting into is from another guy by the name with the first name Ice, at least in his stage name. We did a EP on him a while back. I wanted to do a full length album on him. So after listening to what you listen to when you listen to this album, got a few words for it.
Uh, Kind of similar to the first EP. Was it an EP
Yeah, The
that
Killer
we
Will.
listened to? Um, Funny, self-aware, and he took many different perspectives.
You found some of this album a little funny? Okay. I didn't find it
Hmm.
that funny, but maybe one of the songs I found funny. Okay, maybe two of the songs I found funny, but lot of serious issues he tackles on this album. Um, if you're looking at my camera, you see the thing right behind me. Netta, you want to explain what album we're doing?
So today we'll be talking about Ice Cube's second studio album, Death Certificate. It was released October 29th, 1991. It was certified platinum. It peaked at number 1 on the R&B and hip hop album charts and number 2 on the Billboard 200. He had singles including Steady Mobbin' and True to the Game. He had videos for both of those. And he had guest appearances by Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Deadly Threat, Cam, WC, and the Mad Circle, King T, and JD.
All right, thank you for that. So I've already discussed Ice Cube, original member of NWA, and him going to the movies and stuff. So I'm gonna leave all that stuff out. If you want to hear like a full like background on him, you can go back to episode 13 when we discussed the Kill It Will um, EP. So what we'll do, just what I'll talk about is just the four albums he did throughout the 90, at least up until 93. This is the second one. The one before this one, the full length album, America's Most Wanted. Did another one after this called The Predator, which came out in 92. And then in 1993, he put out Lethal Injection. A lot of people would consider those four albums probably the height of Ice Cube's career. I think he's put out great work since then, but I would have to, agree with those people that, yeah, the first four albums it's where it's at if you want to hear Ice Cube at his best, at least as a solo artist. So he's done stuff, NWA, and then later on with West Side Connection. We'll be doing one of those soon, and then Mount Westmore. That's a good album as well. But definitely, I think a lot of hardcore Ice Cube fans would consider this his best album. Me personally, I may take a lot of flack when I say this. Lethal Injection is my personal favorite. We haven't whenever we get to that, I'll be very excited when we do that one. But this is a good one to start out with, at least with the Death Certificate. So just that's a little bit of background on one of his first four albums, and then just with this album, he goes into like a lot of different topics. Some of it's funny, some of it's serious, some of it just looking at the stuff that happened, particularly before the LA riots, and just a little bit after the riots too. But Predator really goes into more of what he's talking about, after the LA riots. This coming out, at the hype, before it happened. LA, was at that point, I believe, the gang capital in the nation. I don't think it is anymore, but at one point it had gotten that bad out here with the Bloods and the Crips and everything. Um, anything that have you listened to any of his first four albums out of curiosity before dipping into this one? I'm sure you've heard a lot of songs from him over the years.
I've probably heard some of the NWA songs, but I don't think if I do know his songs, I don't know that they're his songs. As far as him as an individual, like I know him more as an actor with Friday, one of the funniest movies of all time. I think it's definitely a cult classic. Um, I never listened to too much of him musically, but I learned in episode 13 that he's just a different kind of guy. You're not going to hear like the same thing that you heard a
No,
thousand times in a rap song.
no,
You know
even
when Ice Cube is talking.
yeah, even with I guess he has some new music coming out next month sometime, or I guess
Oh,
it'll probably be this month when this episode airs. But yeah, he has some new music dropping. So yeah, well, one thing I've learned about him, he isn't gonna beat his bush around the same thing. He may just come to it real quick and then maybe just move on. But don't expect him to do political rap. And this is I would say this is probably like his last political rap album. I think Predator, I think, was more a continuation of it. And then when he got into Lethal Injection, he kind of went the whole G Funk route, which I think a lot of people didn't like. But he definitely wanted to do. I mean, even though he sounds angry in his records, I think he wanted to prove to people like, hey, I'm not always angry. Like I can do party records too and stuff like that. So uh, I think he proved a lot of people wrong, at least when he did that. But back to death certificate. All right. So, what'd you think going into this album? What'd you think you were going to hear? Too? Is it everything you expected, or were you blown away?
um, I don't I can't say I was blown away because I kind of did expect this based on Kill at Will.
Mm,
But he just brought some of like a unique perspective and a unique way of saying it. I thought it was pretty good. Very engaging music from him. A lot of music I might get bored by or be like, oh god, but no, his stuff is very interesting.
okay. Okay. I mean, I remember I got this CD when I was in high school. I'll get into the different versions toward the end of the episode, but I think it was a little turned off by some of the the length of the songs a little bit. But once you hear them, it's like every song on here, just it hits hard. It kind of a little similar to Ice T's OG original Gangster album, which came out the same year, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, even though it was a good album, I don't think that I think he has better songs from other albums, if that makes sense. Even though this is one of his best.
Hmm.
I mean, that if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So let's get into the artwork. Um, looks like he killed Uncle Sam. I guess, and him in the background. I think this is the first album cover where he got rid of his Jerry curl, so no more Jerry curl cube. um, and then you have his iconic black and white logo to the right, death certificate on the bottom. It was all right. I think they could have maybe put a little more color into it, but I kind of see where he was going with it a little bit, I guess. It was okay. I think he's had better album covers, if I'm being perfectly honest. What do you make of it?
I thought it was certainly provocative. You got Uncle Sam laying there with a toe tag and Ice Cube standing beside him looking like he did it.
Mm.
I was thinking like when you see him like holding his chest, I'm like, is he pledging allegiance? Does he
Mhm.
have indigestion? Maybe, it could be either. But I thought it was definitely a very provocative album. If you saw that when you're walking in a record store, you might do a double take. Like, wait.
Yeah, definitely got my attention when I would go in the record stores years ago and see it, and then finally got it, and I was just like, okay, this I see what people are talking about when it comes to this. So, all right, all right. So we get into the beats. If I'm being honest, I thought the single "The Steady Mobbin' Beat" was a pretty nice one. Uh, "Alive on Arrival" I thought was a good beat too. I didn't think any of the beats were outstanding, if that makes sense. But I know I'm a big G Funk fan, and it was right before G Funk really took off. So I mean, I didn't, but I mean, it did have its good beats here or there, and then uh, "My Summer Vacation" I thought was a good beat too, and "No Vaseline" I thought were good beats. Oh, and a bird in the hand. Also, yeah, I'm all over the place with the beats here. But it's hard for me to decide on like what the best beat was for this. But I mean, those are some of the best beats I thought were from the album. What did you come down to?
Yeah, the beats for me, they didn't stick out on my first listen. Like I had to go back and be like, wait, there were beats. So I had to go back and
Yeah.
listen to them to see. And what I liked, my favorite one was True to the Game.
Mm,
I also liked the Wrong Nigga to Fuck With,
uh,
Colorblind, and No Vaseline.
yeah, Colorblind was a good one. The Wrong Nigga to Fuck With was a really good one too. Yeah, I mean, you can get it's kind of similar to the Ghetto Boys. We Can't Be Stopped. I forget what episode that was when we did that one. You're more
Yeah,
intrigued by what they're saying as opposed to the production, if that makes sense. Now,
for sure.
in later Cube albums, especially when you get to Lethal Injection, yeah, the production really goes up a bit, especially if you're really into G Funk like myself. But um, yeah, so for me, it was really hard to just stay with just one beat. But I mean, you could be all over the place with the beats here. Not the you know, down the production or say, hey, the production was bad, but I don't think this album's really known for its, great beats, if, if I'm being honest with you.
Agreed.
All right. So let's get into the album singles. We'll start with Steady Mobbin'. I'll let you start this one off. What'd you think of Steady Mobbin'?
I thought of the 20 songs on the album, I didn't really think this one deserved single status.
It was
It was
okay. It wasn't.
yeah. It it was okay. One thing I did notice when I looked at the video is I'm like, Ice Cube is one of those guys who doesn't really age that much. I thought the same thing about Nas when I was looking at his old videos. Like they didn't really age that much. He still looks pretty much the same. And I liked how in the video he's kind of just a silent observer, going like just observing all the crazy stuff around him. You got racist police like beating
Mm,
somebody, and he's just watching, and then some civilian ran out with a huge gun and chasing somebody, and he's just watching, and he's just riding around the neighborhood. And the song is going like, there goes the neighborhood.
mm.
um I did like when he said coming up short of the green guys, and I might start selling bean pies. uh but that was really it. I didn't think this one was single worthy.
Yeah, you can make that. Well, I mean, it did appear on his greatest hits, probably because it was a single. But I mean, I didn't. Yeah, I thought there were better songs. I mean, maybe he would have had to kind of clean them up a little more because when that during that time, it's like if you were doing a clean version of a song, you would pretty much re-record the song with no profanity. And I think you've seen that
uh
when you watch some of these music videos. At least the next one we will talk about. But this song, it was all right. I mean, I like the story. Like kind of like behind it. In just rolling around on his low rider. See someone down the street with a T-shirt saying "You can't touch this," or talking about he's full from a soul food restaurant called M&M's and he has to take a shit or whatever. But I mean, but yeah, it was a pretty interesting song. I think it's the first music video where a rapper is sporting the iconic Chicago White Sox hat. So
Hmm.
I can't think of any other video, and I know they did like a special on that about a year ago, and then Ice Cube kind of just he sat down for the interview and he wore the hat and just a nice black and white hat. I have one. It's a little dirty. I can use it. I guess I can get a new one when I get a chance. Um, but getting back to the song, the video was okay. Not one of his best singles in my opinion. I think there were other songs on here are worthy of single play if obviously if he could figure out how to make a clean version of a song, I guess. But uh, I mean that's my take on that one.
It
Any other?
kind of reminds me of that. If you remember, we did Lil Kim Hardcore, and we're just like, how the heck did all of these singles make it? But I guess
Hmm.
some of the more hardcore
Yeah,
ones that felt single worthy didn't make it. I guess that does play a large factor in it.
yeah, that's yeah, marketing and probably maybe it wasn't even his decision. I don't know if he ever talks about it. Maybe we'll he'll tell us one day.
Yeah.
All right. True to the game, the next single. And in particular, it's again, I mean, I know it had a nice beat and everything, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I think don't I I don't think it's a song that's aged very well in my opinion. Especially like with hip hop being mainstream now as it is. Um and then, just in terms of the interracial relationship thing at the beginning of the video, I know several people, I'm not gonna say their names, that are in interracial relationships. So I think it anyone could kind of take offense to that. So it's a song I know that he doesn't really perform at shows. I don't think he, at least since I've been seeing him, I don't think he's ever performed it. I've never seen him on video perform it, unless he's done like the Death Certificate album from beginning to finish, and that'd be a different story. But I don't think he does it at his regular shows. Yeah, yeah, just didn't really, it's all right. It's not a song in my playlist if I'm being perfectly honest. I only listen to it if I bumped like the whole album. Um, and yeah, just the whole Oreo cookie thing. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I know what he's saying. Just hey, if you leave the hood, try to give something back to the hood. I guess I know it was really aimed at some of his NWA bandmates, and the second verse, if you look at the music video, MC Hammer. But I think people were just jealous. Let's be real. Everyone in 1990 was doing the Hammer for a minute there, so I'm not even gonna go there. I will say the music video though was a little funny. DJ Pooh, who played Red in a Friday movie, you probably recognize him. he was he played MC Hammer in the video, and doing that dance was that was a little funny. Also, another fun fact about this music video: I don't know if you watched the sitcom Friends, but what's her name? Lisa Kudrow. Yeah, she was the white lady in the music video. She was on Friends.
Oh,
Well, she was a little younger then, but yeah, yeah, she played Phoebe on Friends. So I don't know if you ever watched that. What were your thoughts on True to the Game?
I haven't seen Friends, but I heard a lot about it. I have to check it out. True to the game, I agree with you. Like there were three different people he wanted to kidnap. It was like the one guy, all he's doing is dating a white girl. The other guy, he's a rapper who used to be tough and now he's a little more flamboyant. I didn't know that was based on MC Hammer, but that makes a lot of sense. And then you got the other guy who's like he's black, but he hates all his black coworkers. So yeah, that first one, just being mad at him for dating a white lady, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that I don't think
Um,
that aged very well. Hold on.
yeah, not so well. And I did like how he says, "So back off, genius. I don't need you to correct my broken English." Uh,
Yeah,
because people do. I don't know. People really take benign terms, like say if I were to say, uh, I be going to the store," like. You mean you're going to the store? Like, do you really have to do that? The point of communication is to
yeah,
communicate. You don't have to I mean, I guess I get it when people do it with their children, but I mean, it is kind of cringe to me when people correct a dialect.
Mhm.
Um, he- and he's about the like the MC Hammer character. He
Yeah.
says, you was hardcore hip hop. Now look at yourself, boy.
Boy,
You
you
done
done
flip
flip
flop."
flop. Yeah. Giving
So,
our music away to the mainstream. I mean, you can make arguments, Drake, Little Wayne.
yeah,
There are a lot of rappers. Rap hip hop is one of the most consumed musics worldwide now. I think it's pretty mainstream if you ask me. So I know back
yeah,
then it was a little like it was on the up path, definitely they had to overcome a lot of barriers and everything. But yeah, now it's a little like, all right, we're here. Like, yeah, just and
yeah. And the
but
world is, I mean, like it or not, the world is becoming more and more connected. I try to think of the world in terms of, I watched a lot of Star Trek, so I think 200, 300 years, we're going to be even more connected, and perhaps you wouldn't even be able to really tell the difference between cultures by that point. So, I mean, I think it's good for the cultures to connect. I think it's good for humanity.
yeah, definitely.
Um, I did like in the video when he has Khalid Muhammad, like he's doing like a forced re-education with these
Oh,
guys he has
yeah,
kidnapped. That's like some of his
yeah.
humorous bent to it. And I liked how when he went to one of the guys' house to kidnap him and the street sign says
Oh,
way out.
yeah, way out.
So
A lot of
I thought,
people, a lot of brothers were doing that during that time, moving like, black flight, to like suburban areas, just to try to get
yeah.
away. But,
And a lot
some,
of that is
yeah,
just simple safety. Like,
yeah,
you don't necessarily want to
yeah,
be around where you could hear gunshots. It's not
yeah,
nothing any
yeah,
really wrong with that.
yeah. And then the thing, I was watching a IG post from someone saying like you may love the hood but it doesn't love you back, so and it's like I know what it means, like it's like just not to say like hey, like if you want to be here the rest of your life, just be careful, but it's not going to love you back. I do believe you could take the person out the hood but you can't take the hood out of them, so like hey, you can bring some of the hood with you if you do move to the suburbs or whatever, but the hood ain't gonna love you back if you stay. That
Yeah.
if that makes sense. All right. And then as for the music video, the whole, me black and white, yeah, just I will say this, the Steady Mobbing video, that could use an HD remaster if you guys try to watch it on on YouTube. It was a little tough to watch, if you know what I mean. All right.
Yeah.
So I think I can kind of tell that the two songs we just talked about aren't going to be your three favorites. I've been doing
No.
this with you long enough. So what were they?
Look Who's Burning,
Oh God.
Alive, Alive on Arrival,
All right, that's a good
and
one. That's a good
No Vaseline.
no Vaseline. Okay. All right, mine two were very different. My summer vacation, and this was really really tough too. Colorblind and no Vaseline.
Okay.
All right, so look who's burning. All right, look, yeah. What'd you like about this song? I thought this was a very interesting song.
Well, I mean, we've kind of talked about the artists like TLC and the Brat, who kind of called
Mm,
attention to the AIDS epidemic at that time, and he's kind of calling attention to it in his own little way.
mm.
Just before the song starts, at the end of "Giving Up the Nappy Dugout," which I've never heard of it described like that before, but at the end of that, you have the condoms singing a song to the people. I've never heard anything like this before. The condoms are like, "We're called Jimmy hats. Have you ever seen us? Most guys wearing us. Rolled up on your." So I thought that was really, I don't know. I'm just imagining the condom singing, which I thought was very funny. Um, he says going bareback without the bare facts and have the creepy crawlies crawling on your, I don't even want to
Oh,
say, but
nutsack.
yeah. And then in right after Look Who's Burning comes on, and he's just talking about it's 1991 and look who's burning.
Mhm.
She thought she was wiser. Now she's sitting in the waiting room burning like a heat miser. So, I mean, it is very graphic and, maybe a little vulgar, but he's in the clinic and he's just looking around at all of this stuff happening. And in Nappy Dugout, he's very graphic and explicit about, wanting to have sex. So I thought it was very responsible to put this as the very next song. Like, well, wear your Jimmy hat. That's another thing. Like
Yeah.
I don't usually hear people calling it a Jimmy hat,
Yeah.
but
It was more common in,
very
like, the early '90s, but, yeah, not now, but
oh And he said, you hear more claps than the Coliseum." I thought that was a good one. And he said, "Now, ho, look what you got. Now bend that big ass over for a shot." So I thought it was a funny song, and it raises awareness. So
uh, I could see
what did you think
I
of it?
the comedy behind it is pretty funny with the condom commercials or whatever. I thought it was funny in the beginning where the dude during the skit or whatever, where it's like, the nurse is like, I'm here to get a physical. I'm here to get a physical. No, all we test for is VD, herpes, syphilis, and gonorrhea. I'd like to see a doctor. What's the matter? You bird?" And I thought that was thought that was funny, but I mean, I like the awareness that he puts to that he puts behind it. Like, definitely strap up, use a condom. Especially since one of his former bandmates would later die from a STD, as we know. But definitely, it was definitely a pretty interesting song. I think it would have made for maybe an interesting music video too. Maybe not a single, but
Oh yeah, that would have been a great music video. Oh my god.
yeah, definitely. All right. And then let's see. I guess we could talk about another one of yours, "Alive on Arrival." That was one of your favorites.
Yes.
That was one of my honorable mentions. Yeah, I thought, yeah, my other honorable mention would be "A Bird in the Hand," but yeah, "Life on Arrival." What do you like about this one?
Most of the time when you think about like somebody getting shot, it's like you think about them being dead on arrival. So I thought this was a just an interesting twist on it. Like, well, even if you're alive, this is what happens to you. And he's talking about his struggles
Mm,
in the hospital. Yo, nurse, I'm getting kind of warm. She still made me fill out the form. So that's pretty terrifying. And then he's handcuffed. He's being handcuffed after he got shot, still being asked information on his gang affiliation.
mm,
I don't bang, I rock the good rhymes, and I'm a victim of neighborhood crime. Um, then he say, I need a MD, and y'all MF's giving me the third degree. And then he talks about how he has to end up doing a little ass kissing because now he's scared he's gonna die because the bullet must be just a hair from my heart. So I begin the ass kissing just to get overlooked by an overworked physician.
mm.
So I like the song. It kind of just takes a perspective you hadn't really considered. Usually you're just like, oh, phew, you survive, but this is kind of a different perspective on it.
Yeah, well, honorable mention. This song, the hospital he's talking about, MLK, the county hospital, right around the corner from where my grandmother used to live. So this one kind of hits a little bit of close to home. So, what I liked about the story is how he just really describes how the county hospital system is just, pretty, it's not good, like whether you get shot, whether you're going there for this, that, or the other. MLK, some people refer to it as, I think you've heard this phrase, Killer King. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, that's yeah, you might, yeah, when we do some more albums later on, you'll probably hear that phrase. But yeah, some people refer to it as Killer King, and just getting shot, going to the hospital. 'Cause, that's the nearest hospital in that side of town, and just cops trying to get information from him, and it's just like what's this matter? I'm shot, just yeah, so just yeah, he just wants to be alive before he can give like the cops any more information. So and talking about how sitting in a hospital bed watching the show MASH, I guess, and just overworked physicians. You got the chills. Temperature's 103. Only got a band-aid and an IV. So I like the story behind it. And just very good song. I feel one of the more important songs if you want to see what was going on, in the hood during that time. Definitely that would be a good song to check out. All right, so we did 2 years. We'll save No Vaseline for the end. So, My Summer Vacation. I think the title of the song is very unique. I just love the story behind this one too. How he and a bunch of his crew or whatever go to St. Louis and take over their corner and start making more money than they did in California, and then and then they pretty much one they didn't recognize him because because the Bloods and the Crips like, hey, what, a drive by in Missouri. So I like how he's saying that pretty much LA's had influences on other cities, when it comes to like gang affiliations and all that stuff and whatnot, and then toward the end of the song, the St. Louis guys are like fighting back. They want their corner back. So and then it gets into like pretty much the first scene you see in the steady mobbing video. But yeah, pretty funny. And then I like the news announcer during the one insert where it's like, top of the news, and like, gangs from South Central Los Angeles, which are known for their drive-by shootings, have migrated into East St. Louis, leaving 3 dead and 2 others injured. No arrests have been made, and similar instances occurring in Texas, Michigan, and Oklahoma. I also do want to shout out a song that came out a year later by DJ Quick called "Just Like Compton," which also depicts like how LA has had influences on cities around the country. So I think that's where Quick may have got the idea for that song. But this one came out first. And okay beat, not the best beat, but it was. I like the story behind it. One of my favorites off this album. What were your thoughts on My Summer Vacation?
Yes, it was a interesting ride through this song. He says, breaking off rocks like Barney Rubble. I like that one. And he says, four Jerry Curl, four Jerry Curl niggas kicking up dust. That was pretty funny. And um, yeah, that's about it. This one didn't make it into my favorites, but it was a pretty interesting song.
All right, and then colorblind. I usually try to select songs that have just everyone that just displays their solo, the artist solo stuff, especially if it's like a solo album. But I do like the message behind this one too. Just getting ready for like a killing or whatever. And I think the guests he brings on the song too are pretty good. Also from Threat, WC and Coolio from the Mad Circle, King T, JD from the Lynch Mob. I think they do a good job. So, and just definitely just saying that he's colorblind, meaning blue, red. I mean, I'm blind to the colors. So yeah, just I like that how that went in terms of just like the story behind the song, and like I said, just everyone else who jumped on the song pretty much killed it. What were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I like that one too. This was actually one of my honorable mentions. I liked how he's almost saying like he does a little more due diligence than do the police. Like he doesn't go by colors, he goes by action. Like
Yeah.
somebody's rolling up behind him, and he's watching them roll up. He's seeing what they're about to do before he does anything to him. I grab my gat out the glove. Do these fools got a problem with me, or do they got love? So he's just trying to do his diligence and make sure, because if they have love for him, he has love for them back. And one of the guys say, he talks about the difference between being a woman and being a man, and
Hmm.
in certain areas for the women it don't matter how loud they blouse get, but men, the wrong color outfit get your mouth split. So I thought that was that was interesting. I really, I mean, I guess I could assume that, but I didn't know
Mm.
that. And I liked when the other guy was talking about how he was tasked with a mission to go kill somebody, and he gets up to him, and he
Hmm.
just had a decision to make, and he said, "I ain't contributing to genocide. Why? Because I'm colorblind."
Yeah, that was
So
WC and Coolio. I don't know if you recognize his voice from the Mad Circle. So,
I didn't.
oh yeah,
That was really cool though.
yeah, yeah. We should. Yeah, we'll probably do a WC and the Mad Circle album pretty soon. Hear Dub C and Coolio's earlier stuff, but yeah, I think they kind of stole the show because they had like a little duet going on, and then just just I think it speaks, what was going on on the streets during that time. Definitely great storytelling, and just a very good song. And I feel if you do listen to like any song on this album, this should be it. So, in terms of like the content of it, anything else you got
Yeah.
on Colorblind?
Um, no, that's all I got. I agree that the features shine to me as
Yeah,
well.
all the features definitely killed it. And then our favorite song, I think this. I don't even think he was planning on putting this on his album, but after his former band NWA dissed him, he had to get him hard. And this was both our favorite songs too. If I'm being honest with you, I think this has to be one of the best diss songs ever created. I think it's better than Tupac's "Hit 'Em Up" or "Real Compton City G's" by Eazy or "Fuck with Dre Day" by Dr. Dre. I think, yeah, definitely the best of the best, and I think he kills because he killed a whole band here, not just one person. And so,
His old band.
yeah, his old band, his old band. And if you've seen the Straight Outta Compton movie, you should know what I'm talking about. No Vaseline. Anyone who listens to this album, this should definitely be in your top five favorite songs of all time. But yeah, definitely. He, I would have to say in terms of favorite verses, I like how he goes after Easy in that third verse. I never have dinner with the president. I'll never have dinner with the president. I'll never have dinner with the president. And if I see your ass again, I'll be hesitant. Now I think you a snitch. Throw a house nigga in a ditch. Half pint bitch. Fucking your homeboys. You little maggot, easy E turn faggot. With your manager fella. Fucking MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and Yella. But if they were smart as me, Easy would be hanging from a tree with no
Oof.
Vaseline. Just a match and a little bit of gasoline. Light 'em up, burn 'em up, flame on. Till that Jerry curl is gone. Yeah, he got that. Probably could have just been like the whole like verse. I mean, he got him quick with that, but he dedicated the second verse to MC Ren. He got Dr. Dre and Yellow on the first verse. Yellow boys on your team, so you're losing. Ayo Dre, stick to produce. Calling me Arnold, but you've been a dick. Oh boy, yeah, he probably had that in the bag because the thing is, when he did America's Most Wanted, and I don't know if you've seen any interviews, he never said a word about him. He didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he just wanted to make music go on. NWA took shots at him first, and it's like, okay, so he got them a little bit at the end of Kill at Will, at the end of that one song. What was it, Jacking for Beats? She got him a little bit there, but it wasn't really anything like hard or anything. But they, he did what he had to do, and yeah, NWA never responded. But then again, they broke up shortly thereafter. So, what?
Yeah, I would break up too if this was if this happened to me. Um, I I saw this song as a song of triumph. He's like he says that they look like straight bozos, and he saw it coming. That's why he went solo
Yeah.
and kept on stomping when y'all MFers moved straight out of Compton. And He says, "I started off with too much cargo, dropped four niggas, now I'm making all the dough." So yeah, he really, yeah, he ate the whole group alive, and
And their
to
manager, Gary Heller, and their
and the manager, he's like, and he knows their business in a big way. Like he knows all their financial business. He's like, y'all are getting effed over there. I don't know. I'm going over here and I'm making the money. So yeah, he ate them alive lyrically, and it's not a lot of our the beefs that we had recently, it kind of might have been based on a lot of lies, but this didn't feel like lies.
no,
So that's why it really hit, and he really knows them personally. So it really
they
hit,
they
and
were they
he
were NWA they were brothers. They loved each other.
yeah.
They didn't. Well, maybe some of them grew up together here or there, but for the most part, it's not like five random guys. Oh, I'm getting this group. Like no, they knew each other. They knew each other.
Yeah, this was it wasn't just about music. This was like personal.
Yeah,
So it really hit
definitely
really
beyond the
hard,
music.
and yeah, so and it's something that I've heard even before I actually heard the song. I just heard the saying "no Vaseline." It's like a almost a colloquialism at this point for just like ether, like you
Mm.
you got ate alive. So a very triumphant song. Like I used to be with y'all, now I'm alone, and I'm doing better than all y'all put together. Yikes! Hey, you would hate to be these guys at this moment.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, I would have loved to have seen NWA get back together had Easy stayed alive, and I think they were planning it, but you know, what happened happened. May Easy rest in peace. But
Yeah.
he got him there, and it's. I mean, he still does this song to this day. Maybe not at all
Yeah.
shows, but he will perform this. Well, he knows people love it. So. But
Yeah.
he'll even
Well,
say too, like, yeah, I got nothing but love for my homeboys from NWA. So it's nothing.
yeah.
It really is nothing personal now. But hey,
I
it's
feel like he kind of went easy on Dr. Dre too. He just like you just stick to making beats. Like that's
well,
kind of a compliment.
well. The thing is, when he went solo before he teamed up with the Bomb Squad and Public Enemy, and you'll learn more about this whenever we do America's Most Wanted. He wanted Dre to produce his album. He did, and
Oh,
Easy E
he
wouldn't.
said no.
No, Easy E wouldn't let him. Yeah.
Oh,
And then, I mean, obviously, they would collaborate years later with Natural Born Killers from the Murder Was a Case soundtrack, which I know we haven't talked about that yet, but they were going to do an album together. Unfortunately, it never uh came came to light. But I mean, at least they were able to get one song in together with just him, and Dr. Dre. And then I know for like a NWA reunion, they pretty much Cube was not going to do it unless Dr. Dre was in. So that
oh,
was, yeah, and that's how much he really respected Dr. Dre and wanted him to be a part of the project. If Dre wasn't in it, he wasn't going to be in it. So
and they're the two that are still household names to this day.
yeah,
Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, huge huge
yeah,
people. So
yeah, very huge.
yeah, good they got over this because I couldn't.
Yeah, yeah. You don't think if someone was dissing you like that, you don't think you'd be able.
I would never recover.
Yeah, I gotta send you some videos then of I'll send you some videos after this episode. I think you'll be like, oh my god. I will say this: DJ Yella in an interview with Vlad said that yeah he got us with that one. Yella just straight up waved the
That's the best thing to do. That's the
flag.
best thing to
Like I said,
do.
probably the greatest disc record ever. Maybe not the best beat, but definitely the fact, like you said, the fact that he took down his former band, like yeah, yeah. I would say,
Great song.
yeah. This was probably one of the funny highlights of this whole album. All right. So, any more thoughts on No Vaseline?
I'll just mention my honorable mentions. The Colorblind, like we were talking about, Man's Best Friend, and the wrong But you don't like that one?
It's just a fun. It's just a funny song. Maybe there were more funnier tracks on there than I thought. Man's best friend and what else?
The wrong nigga to fuck with, and the intro to that was so funny. Oh my god, you hear
Yeah,
the organ playing and
yeah,
the pastor. The brother was a good brother. He didn't get into an excessive amount of trouble, but it's one thing. He was the wrong nigga to fuck with. I was like, what in the world? That was so funny. That was a great way to
yeah,
start the album. And he on all the songs, like
yeah.
I don't know if I'm used to the beat playing for a little bit and then
Mm.
the person start rapping, but he immediately gets to it on a lot of these songs immediately.
All right.
So
Yeah. So
great
some.
album.
Yeah, I'll do three more honorable mentions. A bird in the hand. I think is a very good song. I
I
thought.
like that one
Yeah,
too.
that was a good one. Alive on Arrival, which we talked about. I want to kill Sam. Hence the album cover. That probably should have been a single, maybe. And then,
You think?
um, yeah, doing dumb shit. I think was a pretty funny song too. But I mean, overall, great album. I mean, like I said, probably could have used a better choice of singles, but I mean, for the most part, it was very good. Um, all right, moving on to album cuts and expansions. So there have been several of them. There's been a 2003 reissue. This one was the one I bought when I was I believe I was a senior in high school when I bought it, and then senior in high school or freshman in college. I don't know, one of the two. And then so I got that, and it has a cut on there. Well, not a cut, an extra song, which is "How to Survive in South Central," which is a song off of the Boys in the Hood soundtrack. If you ever seen that movie or listened to the soundtrack, so very good song. It uses a Zapp and Roger beats, so sample. So I like it a lot. And then there's the 25th anniversary where he added some songs. If I can go down here, yes, he added three songs. Only One Me, Good Cop, Bad Cop, which I believe is a music video for it, and Dominate the Week. So that just came out 25th anniversary. That came out about several years ago now. And then the complete edition, which includes those three songs, again along with another track called "Trying to Maintain." So there's several versions of this album. It's available on vinyl, like the one behind me there. If you want to pick it up, it's just the regular album, 20 songs or whatever. And then, aside from that, recommendations. So I decided to highlight some of the people who were in the song "Colorblind." So WC and the Mad Circle had a album that came out a month before this, I believe, called "Ain't a Damn Thing Changed." King T, who also sang on that song, had an album called "At Your Own Risk." Ice Cube appears on the final song of that album. I had never heard it all the way through. Maybe I'll give it a listen. You could probably do it on Listen in 3D one of these days. And then in '92, aside from the Predator album that I talked about, Ice Cube also worked with the Lynch Mob, and they put out an album called "Gorillas in the Mist." So that's a pretty good album, and Ice Cube also appears on there as well. All right, so Netta, final thoughts on this album? Taking any of these songs back to your playlist besides No Vaseline?
Definitely taking No Vaseline bag. Definitely taking the very first song. That was
The
just
wrong
so
nigga to fuck
funny.
with, yeah. The wrong.
The intro song, and the song that the intro song is
Oh,
leading up to.
the funeral, yeah.
Yeah, and so overall, I feel like this was an album you have to listen to in full in order to really grasp the
Yeah,
bigger picture because it feels like he shifts perspectives in every song. One minute he's talking from the perspective of like a drug dealer, gangbanger with no other options, and the next he's saying drug dealers harm the community and commit genocide.
yeah, yeah. That's the
And
song "Us." That's the song.
and then one minute he speaks in graphic detail about his sexual exploits, and then the next he's speaking from a perspective of a person just disgusted in the clinic, looking around at all the people with the STDs. And one minute he's blaming the government for all the problems in the black community, and he hates Uncle Sam. And the next he's like, "Look, why are you trying to blame the government? It starts with us." So definitely a very comprehensive album, very self aware. Very entertaining and engaging album. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. And like you said, I think you got to listen to to the songs from top to finish before you really can select what ones you'd want to take back to your playlist. But for the most part, I mean, I have it on vinyl, so I mean, I could just listen to it whenever. But like the tracks I highlighted, I mean, man's best friend. I mean, what's your best friend? A gun or a dog? I guess. But I was surprised that was one of your honorable mentions. But very good album. But let us know what you liked on the album. What were your favorite tracks? What tracks did you not like? Did we get it right? Let us know in the comments. For Netta, aka Wondrous Net, I'm Justin. Too Tall for You Fool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Later.